evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Spike Magazine Trophy. We are at the midway point of the season. Clypheus, thank you so much for the sub. Oh, thanks for playing, and thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. We're in the midway point. Here we are, the midway point of the season. We are Week 5 Spike Magazine Trophy, second competition of the season. And we got a doubleheader tonight. We're going to get things started with a fun one tonight. Tonight, it's going to be Division A action. Cenozoic Park versus Real American Heroes. Nick Satan versus Dead Fred. Lizards versus Dark Elves. We're at the top of the charts tonight for game one of our doubleheader. In Division A, Cenozoic Park, coached by Nick Satan. Up tonight, the home team, a Lizardmen team, 3-0 is their record. They'll be up against the second place team, Dead Fred's Real American Heroes, a Dark Elf team, 2-1-0 is their record. And SP versus the Dead Poets, currently in third place. They're an undead team with a record of 1-3-0. And in Division B, Doug the Minotaur's White Skull Windbreakers, an Orc team, 3-1-0 is his record. They're in first place. And Eric, they'll be up in our second game this evening. Eric's team, Alphitus Australis, a Wood Elf team, 2-1-0 is their record there. And in second place, in Venger's Mr. Yuck, a Nurgle team in third place, 2-1-1 is their record tonight. After this game, Alphitus Australis is going to be facing off against Nuffle to see here. That's going to be a fun one too. But first, let's take a look at this game. I love this matchup tonight. The home team tonight, Cenozoic Park, coming in at a TV of 1,290,000 gold. Unless they spend some of that cash in their treasury, they have 205,000 gold in their treasury. That means they're going to have to roll for expensive mistakes or spend that money. If they don't spend that money, there is a 1/3 chance that they will lose D3 times 10,000 gold from their treasury. Probably not a big deal. He'll probably roll for it. Has a full 11-player roster. The big guy, Richard Attenborough, the #1 player. 6 of the Sauruses, 3 Skinks, and a Chameleon Skink as well. 1 Apothecary, 5 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. He'll be up against the Real American Hero, Dead Fred's team. 9, 10, 11, 12-player roster, coming in a TV of 1,430,000 gold. That's 140,000 gold in petty cash going back to Cenozoic Park tonight. The Real American Heroes also have to roll for expensive mistakes unless they spend that money, but there's only a 1/6 chance that they're going to lose the same amount rather than a 2/6 chance. 1/3. You know what? 2 6s, right? As the four Dark Elf Blitzers, a whole bunch of linemen, a runner, 2 Witch Elves, 1 Apothecary, also 5 dedicated fans. The fans love these teams. And 3 rerolls. How are the 2 teams going to play tonight? Let's take a look at the Lizard team to start with. Cenozoic Park has the 6 Sauruses, has the big guy, has 4 Skinks. 2 of the Sauruses have the block skill. He's trying to get block on the rest of the Sauruses here. He has block on Richard Attenborough as well. But look at these Skinks. These Skinks tend to hog the SPP, and it's no exception on this team here tonight. He does have Ty Simpkins, the sneaky git skink. That's the Fowler. He has Ariana Richards. He has kitted this player out as a ball carrier, has diving catch and safe pair of hands. Diving catch means that Ariana Richards will be able to catch a ball that ends up being kicked or thrown into any adjacent space, or at least will have the opportunity to roll for it. And then a safe pair of hands means that if Ariana Richards gets knocked down, Nick Satan decides where that ball bounces. So we'll see how he uses those skills tonight. He also finally picked up a kicker here in Trevor Morgan. I think this is a great pickup. He has a kicker on Trevor Morgan. Trevor Morgan also a blodger. Kick is going to allow him to kick this ball wherever he wants. So the ball normally deviates by 6 space to deviate by up to 3. So he can really position that ball tonight. And we'll talk about how he can use that in a little bit. And then he does have the Chameleon Skink as well, Joseph Mazzolo, the #10 Chameleon here. These Chameleons also have dodge, but they have on the ball, they have shadowing as well. On the ball, this is a movement skill, so this allows him to move up to 3 squares when there's a pass or on a kick. Extra movement's always great. 70k player. One of the faster players on the pitch. He does trade 1 MA for an extra point in passing. I don't know how much that's going to play tonight, but Cenozoic Park clearly has a passing game with these skinks, right? The Saurus blockers, that's where all of his strength is. They're all strength 4. 2 of them have block skill. He has a Crocs at strength 5, who has the block skill, and Mighty Blow as well. These players are going to be holding down the fort while the skinks are holding that ball and trying to score. But what this means is, look at the AG value, 5+. If they get marked, they're going absolutely nowhere. So Dead Fred tonight, he's going to be looking to mark these players down at key opportune moments so that he can go a skink hunting. He wants to murder these skinks. If all 4 of these skinks are removed, Nick Satan no longer has anybody who can run the ball. He has nobody who can manage this ball, who can pick up the ball. So that will be a major strategy for Dead Fred going into tonight's game. Of course, he doesn't want to be giving up the blocks to the Sauruses, so he needs to not go in and take willy-nilly marks. Instead, what he's probably going to do on defense is he's probably just going to try to screen out those skinks to make sure he can't get past them, and start hunting, or screen out the offense rather, and start hunting those skinks. Nick Satan is going to have to keep those skinks protected, and he's going to have to do that by keeping some of his players mobile. So there's going to be a dance at mid-pitch about where these Sauruses are, where the big guy is, when they get locked down, when they get picked off. That is what it's all going to come down to tonight. This Dark Elf team, not a slow team either. They have MA7, MA6 across the board. That is not bad. 4 blodgers. That means that he is all 4 of these blitzers. He doesn't want them going down. That means they're excellent ball carriers. They're excellent on defense. They're excellent for marking, because only a PAL is going to knock these players down. He has the runner in Duke, who's level 2. He's picked up that extra reroll with leader. So long as Duke stays on the pitch, he has 4 rerolls. And of course, the 2 witch elves, just one of them's a blodger, but the other one has picked up tackle and wrestle. Not bad for a fragile player. These witch elves have jump up, they have frenzy, they're great for moving players out of position. And those Crocs, remember, that's the sort of the key of the offense and even the defense to some extent for Nick Satan. Those Crocs are going to be holding down the fort. If Dead Fred can leverage frenzy, can leverage this blodger Baroness, and pick off a Saurus, move them out of position, open up holes, cut players off of their formation, he's going to be in great shape. Now the skinks post, now he's in trouble. Nick Satan with that kick skill, I think tonight he's absolutely going to want to kick shallow. He's up against a fast team, so kicking deep's really not going to be to his advantage. If he kicks deep, Dead Fred's going to say, that's fine by me. I want to keep the ball away from your strength 4 and strength 5 players. I want to be safe, and I have the movement to move. But if he kicks it shallow, now he has an opportunity to snake this ball away from the offense. And that's a very powerful thing. I think they both should roll for spiraling expenses, but we'll see what they do. All right, I'm going to stop yammering. I'm going to head over to Discord and see if these coaches are ready to go. Looks like they are indeed ready to go, and we'll get right into this game. The second game of tonight's doubleheader is going to be Chaos Chosen versus something. Versus Wood Elves. Alphatus Australis versus Duffel to see here. Oh, do I? Oh, I must have the game too loud. Alright, hold on. Alright, let me know if that's any better at all. Oh, lovely colors on the pitch. The blue of the Sauruses, the blue of the Dark Elf team. Alright, thanks for letting me know, Hank Ranger. My apologies. Sounded a little loud to me too, but it looked like everything was... all the dials were dialed in, so to speak. Alright, here's the coin toss. Cenozoic Park wins the toss. And they're going to decide to set up on offense to begin. So Cenozoic Park picking up a bribe? Just the bribe. Real American Heroes to set up their defense. 3 on the line, naturally. I wonder if he's going to split these players apart or not. We'll see. You can see the Real American Heroes indeed electing to try to screen out this skink team. They do have the speed, but they don't want a skink getting by them. That means they're going to need to keep this ball in front of them. The skinks are MA8. They are faster than anybody on this Dark Elf team. He duped the runner. He's picked up the leader skill there, and that is why the Real American Heroes, you'll see in the upper right here that they are reporting 4 rerolls. They have 3 team rerolls, and they have that leader roll. All right, setting up in, what do you want to call this? Let's call this a W defensive formation. And now, Cenozoic Park to set up their offense. 3 elves on the line to beat up. Trevor Morgan back to receive the kick. No kicker on the roster for the Real American Heroes. The kicker is on Cenozoic Park's roster, and that is Trevor Morgan himself. Currently has 5 on the line, but this shifted way left here, so 3 going toe-to-toe on the line. He'll get a 2-die block at least against all 3 defensive linemen. Here's the kick. Shallow kick for the Real American Heroes. Oh boy, 2 bribes now for Cenozoic Park. 1 for the Real American Heroes. You see that? Ball. I want to see some fouling. Big Satan here on turn 1. Cenozoic Park setting up some protection on the ball before rolling dice. That's good action order. And now they're going to take a 2-die block on the left defensive end and get a POW against Tomax. The injured lineman for the Real American Heroes breaks armor. Got a KO. 1-man player advantage on the very first block of the game. Cenozoic Park, 11v10. Armor break a second time. Got a stun. Block number 1. See you later, alligator. Crosses the line of scrimmage on the left side. Now rolls that final die with the Crocs. Gets a POW here. 2-die block. Mighty blow in effect. Gets a stun out of it. Now going for the 3+ pickup. Works out. Ball in the hands of Trevor Morgan on Cenozoic Park's 6-yard line. Talk of the town this week. Last week, it was, oh, here's the foul. Yes, sir. Sneaky get foul, gets nothing out of the foul. Went for the foul on Zamet. Had 2 assists on the foul. Von Rue, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the sub. Very kind of you. Thank you. And welcome. Talk of the town 2 weeks ago. Every single coach in the league talking about how marvelous it was that Griff Oberwald took to the pitch for the Television Terrors. And last week, it was Carla Von Kill, 2 star players playing for the starriest of teams, the Television Terrors, refusing to play for anybody else. S. Beaver wanted Carla Von Kill's autograph. Applying the pressure here now in turn one. 2-die blitz on the back right corner of the pocket. We'll get a push against Joseph Mazzello. Not going to follow up here. There's one more point of movement left with Destro. This is the blitzer. Destro going to stay right where he is. 2-die block against Sam Neill. Double pals here. Looking for a 10 plus. Poopala says, Griff is number 3 on my bucket list, under all the elves, just under the skinks. I hope I get to meet him one day. He's my hero. I'll let him know. I'll let him know. That's very kind. I'll let him know. He'll appreciate it. Defense repositioning here. Just playing a mild bit of pressure on the right side here. It's going to have to be careful that Destro doesn't get picked off. Turn 2 back to Cenozoic Park. If you love elves, wait for the second game of our doubleheader tonight. We've got Wood Elves coming up next. Wood Elves versus Chaos Chosen. Cenozoic Park with those 2 bribes. You can see the sneaky get up on the line there. He's going to be trying to get that block or that foul off each and every turn. Has to re-roll after double skulls. Cenozoic Park only has 2 team rolls. They're down to 1. 4 blodgers on this opposing team in those blitzers. And he needs a POW on each and every one of them. Knock them down. If that weren't bad enough, these blitzers, they're not normal elves. They have some pretty solid armor on them. They have a 9+ armor value. That's average armor, so you can't look forward to the easy elf armor breaks. Repositions Richard Attenborough, the Crocs. Takes a mark on 3 opposing players. Cenozoic Park going in heavy with these Sauruses. He's going to have to watch out that this ball does not see even more pressure. Cenozoic Park advances the ball to their 2-yard line. And now nearly their entire team has crossed the line of scrimmage. There's that second foul. Doesn't get anything out of this either. Went after Zamet once more. Turn 2 back to the Real American Heroes. I paid a credit card bill today, and this happens every so often. It's the same credit card, but I paid it off, and every time not every time, but occasionally when I do it, it reports that I have -1 cent as my balance, and I'm like, how is that possible? I think it's a bug. 2 dodges into the blitz. Takes a 2-die blitz against Joe Mazzello. Gets a push out of this. Deciding whether he wants to follow up or not and mark the ball carrier. He says, no sir, I will exert tackle zones right where I am. So there's that pressure on the ball carrier. With a lot of these lizards forward, Nick Satan's going to have to think about how he clears out Destro and continues to keep this ball secure. Stand up, good dodge by Zamet. Doesn't want to get fouled a 3rd time. Takes the 2-die on BD Wong, gets a POW. even if you don't get the armor break on these Sauruses, and odds are you won't, the knockdowns are huge. MA6, you knock them down, you've cut them down to half speed for the next turn. Not only have you cut them down to half speed, but they've lost their ability to block. All they can do if they're going to roll block dice is blitz. Real American Heroes into bonus time for the first time this evening. Good 3+ dodge away from Richard Attenborough. Remember, Richard Attenborough has that prehensile tail. Finally failed a dodge. That'll be a turnover. Gets stunned for his trouble. Hawk, the number 2 blitzer, stunned. Those blitzers are key to this roster. Being down 1 a turn, not the end of the world, but definitely not the best stun. Turn 3 back to Cenozoic Park. I feel anxious, like, not for no reason. I don't know. You ever have those days where, like, you feel like you just maybe didn't do enough work or didn't do the right thing, or like, but like you can't like identify, like I did a full day's work. 2-die blitz on that back back blitzer, backfield blitzer. Destro's gonna get knocked down. Speed Beaver says those are called weekdays. Yeah, it's like, ah, man, did I do enough work today, or did I do the right work, or did I spend the right time on the right stuff? Push on a block, and now a second block, this time with Jeff Goldblum. Doesn't have the block skill. Gets another push out of Zartan. I feel fine, I guess. It's just like it's not like a big deal. I'm just like, I don't know. You know. It's like, oh man. Wonder if I did the right thing. Even though it doesn't really matter. SB Beaver says, I expect you to simulcast both 9 PM games at the same time. Dueling computers. Ooh, breaks armor on the foul here. Gets a stun on Destro. Got the pal he was looking for on Destro. Had 4 assists on that foul. That brings that AV down to a 5+. Broke armor, but only got a stun out of it. You broke Griff twice, you should feel off. You deserve to feel off. I had a tuna sandwich for lunch. That's the first time I've eaten tuna in, like, man, 6 months maybe. It was delicious. Turn 3 for the Real American Heroes. Big get here out of the stun with Destro and the stun on Hawk. That's 2 of the 4 blitzers down and stunned. The Real American Heroes are going to have to be a little cautious here on this turn. They don't want these players to start to get picked off. They're too important to this team. Witch Elves are another good positional. Remember, they have Frenzy. One of them has the block skill, so you have a Blodger with Frenzy. You can get 4 dice with the block skill. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Man, there's been all these good games that have come out in like a week. There's a spiritual successor to Suikoden called Ayuden Chronicles. It's great. Clivius, thank you for the bits. Clivius showing his colors for the Lizard team. 1 die block, it's a push against Wayne Knight in the left wide zone. Yeah, Ayuden Chronicles is a spiritual successor to Suikoden, and it is phenomenal. Made by the company, headed by the guy who created Suikoden, who sadly passed away this year. But it's a great game. Oh boy, 1 die blitz into a 2 die frenzy follow-up. Clive continue to show you his colors. Thank you for the bits. Good frenzy blitz there to 2-die dodge away back to where she was to get the assist against Sam Neill. Great blitz by Dead Fred. Took the 1-die, got the push into a 2-die block, got the knockdown, dodged back away to lend the assist on this block against Sam Neill and get the knockdown as well. Very well played. I also picked up the new Saga game. If you've never played a Saga game, maybe don't. They are, boy, and I like Saga. It's a Square series of Japanese RPGs that are they're not easy. And they're not what you think. They're basically like storyless. I mean, they do have stories, but it's basically just a series of battles, except when you go back to like the original Saga games on like the Game Boy. They were called Final Fantasy Legend back then. But anyway, a new Saga game came out. Been having a lot of fun with that. And then I just bought the Girl in Space. What's that game called? Whatever the big new AAA game for the PlayStation is. I bought that too. I haven't played it yet. 2-die block against Gung Ho. Gets a push here in turn number 4 for Cenozoic Park. Another removal here for Cenozoic Park. That's a 2-man player advantage now for this Lizard team. Stellar Blade, that's what it's called. How about Stellar Blade? Tried the foul again. He's doing the right thing here, but just not getting anything out of the foul. Had 3 assists that time. That will bring the AV down to a 6+. We'll roll to 5. So Cenozoic Park, after 2 great stuns, getting an opportunity to reposition their offense here in the final turn of the first quarter for the offense. I got to play Blood Bowl Team Manager this week, which is always fun. If you've ever played, it's like card game Blood Bowl. It's really good. And then Disc Wars, which FFG released and then later reskinned as like a Warhammer game. That was also a lot of fun. I was what was it? My opponent were Vamps. It was vampires versus lizards. I was lizards and dwarves. 2+ dodge into a rush out of that left wide zone here in the final turn of the first quarter. Takes a mark on the ball carrier. Trevor Morgan marked by Snake Eyes, the 3rd blitzer. Snake Eyes injured, but also a blodger. Real American Heroes continuing to keep the pressure on. This ball has yet to cross the line of scrimmage. Here comes the blitz. Good dodge into a rush. Spend that reroll. Spend that reroll. Yeah. Yeah, go. You got to push out of that. So 2+2+ into a 2-die blitz. Good attempt here by Dead Fred, but also up against a blodger. Strip ball sure would be handy at this point. This ball has now been pushed, after the blitz has been pushed back to Cenozoic Park's own 10-yard line at mid-pitch. And now a 2+ dodge by Hawk. repositioning to keep these tackle zones in place, takes a mark against Sam Jackson, the number 6 Saris. And now here comes the pressure by Scarlet, the number 13 Witch. I recently rewatched The Witch, The Vavitch. It's a great movie. Ooh, boy, look at that. Look at that. That was a 4+? 4+ dodge. Remember, the Chameleon has shadowing, failed the shadowing roll, and now has a second mark on Trevor Morgan. Trevor Morgan has an opportunity to 3+ dodge away here. Real American Heroes down to 5 minutes, 43 seconds left on the bonus clock here in the first quarter. SP Beaver says, I feel the elves are over-committing. Clifey says, I think they're trying to either force a score or kill that skink. Either probably works for them. Second quarter begins here. 0-0 the score. Cenozoic Park still in control of the ball here on their offensive half of the game. They're going to take a 2-die against Zamet and get a push. Dodge push out of it. Now a pal this time. They knock Flint down and follow up. Nicholas, thank you very much for the bits. And there was a 3+ dodge. Trevor Morgan parks the ball across the line of scrimmage to the opposing 2-yard line now. Remember, that's a 3+ dodge with the dodge skill, so fairly safe. Oh no, but fails the boneheaded roll with Richard Attenborough. Richard Attenborough no longer exerting these tackle zones. Takes a block on Duke, gets a push. Duke is the runner for the Dark Elf team. He's going to remain on his feet. Now a 2-die against Scarlet. That's going to be a pal. Scarlet only 8+. Does not break armor. 2-die against Hawk, the number 2 Blitzer. Got a pal again. Breaks armor a second time. And another stun on Hawk. Boy, he's gonna have to get an MRI. Cenozoic Park with the Ty Simpkins blitz on Snake Eyes, and again gets a pal on one of these blitzers. Clappies, thank you very much for the bits. Whoo! 3+ dodge to close off the cage. Turn 5 for the Real American Heroes. Ball currently caged up on the opposing 2-yard line. Remember, these skinks are MA8. Once they are on the 6, they are in scoring position. Real American Heroes placed immense pressure on this ball, but now a number of players are behind the ball, 4 to be exact. Will they continue this pressure? Or will they try to stop this score? This run is going to be tricky to stop with the players they have remaining. They send Zamet over to mark Richard Attenborough. That's the boneheaded Crocs currently. Well, currently boneheaded, not currently a Crocs. Well, also currently a Crocs, but also probably permanently a Crocs. Real American Heroes desperately trying to keep some semblance of a defense in front of this ball. 2+ dodge, so 2+ rush puts Snake Eyes in a position to prevent this ball moving laterally to the left, hopefully. And now marks the back of the cage. Destro marking both Joe Mazzulo and Ariana Richards. That's a 1-die block coming back. Remember, these skinks are just strength 2. Good 2+ dodge to get Scarlet back downfield to try to protect against the run. And now the blitz on the back right corner of the cage is going to be a push. He'll push this skink out of the cage and almost certainly going to follow up here. And indeed he does. $6:21 on the bonus clock for Cenozoic Park. $5:10 on the bonus clock for the Real American Heroes. Turn 6 for Cenozoic Park. Can these lizards score? Nick Satan doing a pretty good job here on offense. Left the ball a little exposed. Dead Fred took advantage of that. Applied some early pressure on the ball, but just really couldn't get at it. Nick Satan was able to recover here and keep control of this ball, but still facing this immense elvish pressure. It's going to take a 2-die blitz against Zartan. Another pal! Nuffle be praised. Has the assist, gets a 2-die block against Destro, and yet another pal. Clavius, thank you very much for the bits. Clavius clearly rooting for this lizard team. 2-die block against Zamet. This will work out through the block skill. Gets the knockdown. Clavius says, I will start communicating solely by audio quote. That is fine. That is perfectly fine. And now a foul. A foul on Zartan. Had a 6+. Didn't get anything out of that foul yet again. Nick Satan doing a great job of using that sneaky get, just not getting anything out of it. One more space forward with the ball now. The ball's on the 4. Just one space out of scoring position. You can see Trevor Morgan can get all the way down to the 24. I think the Rich says, is there a G.I. Joe sound alert? You know what? There isn't, but that is a great idea, and I will make a note. Pepe says, I assume he wants to score on turn 8 to make sure that the Elves can't score on their turn 8. Yeah, so for sure, he wants to stall this out as quick as he can. I imagine that played a role in Dead Fred's early pressure, trying to get the early score there so he could come back and tie this ball game. But it's tricky, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to score. So if it comes down to turn 8 and it's still not a sure thing, you might be in trouble. 2-die block on Trevor Morgan. Finally, the Real American Heroes are going to knock down this ball carrier. And the ball is going to scatter to the 8. Right next to the Baroness, the number 12 Witch Elf. Doug the Minotaur, welcome to the stream. Went in on the blitz here. Finally got a knockdown on that blodger. Dead Fred going to take his time here a little bit, trying to figure out how to get out this ball. He's going to 2+ dodge to a 3+ pickup to another dodge. And now, for the first time, the Real American Heroes have recovered the ball. They have it on their own 8-yard line in the right wide zone. Now he's going to try to set up some tackle zones to keep this ball carrier safe. Well done by the Real American Heroes. The Baroness now has the ball. Baroness, a blodger, of course. Duke, the runner, going to run downfield now to the opposing 8. Real American Heroes down to 4 minutes, 20 seconds on the bonus clock. They have 3 re-rolls remaining for the half. Remember, one of those re-rolls is coming from Duke himself. He is the leader. Fails a dodge, gets a stun on Snake Eyes. Two dodges there. Failed the second dodge. Those are 2+ dodges with the dodge skill. Just unfortunately didn't work out there. Turn 7 for Cenozoic Park. Run Bad, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you very much, Run Bad. I was watching you earlier. Great stream as always. 2-die block gets a pal here against Zartan. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Flavius, thank you so much for the bits. Wayne Knight, the number 7 blocker, going to move down pitch, as is Ariana Richards, the number 13 skink. Cenozoic Park putting a player in scoring position here on turn 7. What is their plan to go after this ball? The Baroness, a blodger, number 12, currently in control of this ball. Also has a number of tackle zones around that player. Takes a mark with Laura Dern. Laura Dern marking the ball carrier now. 2-die block against Flint. This will be a knockdown. Mighty blow in play. 8+ breaks armor. Flint to the left of the ball carrier. Got the injury. Well done. Third removal for Cenozoic Park. We'll see if he can convert this half, however. Three-man player advantage for the Lizards. 2-die blitz. Got the pow on the Baroness. Gets the knockdown. The ball scatters to the 12. Clive says, who just got bit in half? That would be Flint. Needed a pal on that blitz. He got it. Nuffle being very kind on these blocks here for Cenozoic Park. Consistently getting the pals against these 4 blodger blitzers. There it is. Yet again, got the pal on Destro. If the Real American Heroes can hold this to a scoreless half, they'll consider that job well done. Cenozoic Park really dipping into the bonus clock here. 2+ rush here into a 3+ pickup. Spends the reroll. Works out now. Cenozoic Park with no rerolls remaining. And another die roll for good measure. 2+ on the rush. And Cenozoic Park's going to recover this ball on turn 7. They now have the ball on the 14-yard line. Risky rush indeed. Real American Heroes on turn 7. What's the game plan? They could do a 2+ dodge with the Baroness into a 2-die block, but if it's a push, the frenzy follow-up is going to be a 1-die. All right, rush is to get a player into position to keep this a 2-die follow-up. Here it is. 2-die blitz. Dodge push. 2-die follow-up. Into the POW. 8+ breaks armor on Trevor Morgan. There's the armor break. Chameleon has the shadowing skill. The ball's... Who the ball? The ball scatters into the hands of who? Into the hands of the Baroness herself? Oh, roll. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, all right. Gonna try to dodge away. Successfully dodges away, but successful 6 on the shadowing. Gonna try to pick this ball up, but the Chameleon's gonna try to shadow and succeeds again. Joseph Maslow is not gonna let this ball go. Well, now he is. The Baroness recovers the ball here. My goodness. Rolling dice like nobody's business. Gets another rush out of this. Ball on the 14 for the Real American Heroes over in the right wide zone. Real American Heroes down to 4 minutes on the bonus clock. Remember, that's for the entire game. 2+ dodge, so 2+ rush. All rushes are 2+ unless there's a weather effect in play. Remember, coming up after this game, we've got another game in tonight's doubleheader. It's going to be Wood Elves versus Chaos Chosen. That'll be a fun one. That's Division B. Good dodge to try to get some safety on the Baroness. Baroness is going to eat another block in turn 8, but we'll see if Cenozoic Park can capitalize on it. Wow, Real American Heroes down to 3 minutes, 8 seconds on the bonus clock. Duke ready to receive this ball to score on turn 8, but first, it's Cenozoic Park's opportunity. They're going to cover Duke naturally with Sam Neill and with Sam Jackson. This is a good mark here. Not only does this make this a very difficult catch, but also, even if Duke wants to dodge out before or after the catch, it's a guaranteed -1 dodge, and then a second dodge, which would be the positive dodge, the 2+. 2-die block by the Crocs. Scary stuff here, but works out thanks to the block skill. Cenozoic Park with no rerolls left. If that big guy block didn't work out, man. 2-die blitz only has a push. That won't be enough. Can you get the assist here? Let's see, that's 1. He can dodge out here and here if he really wants to, make it a 2-die. 30 seconds left on the clock. There's the dodge for one. That makes it a one die. He can make it a two die. But if he makes it a two die, he's not scoring. Here's the one that got the POW! Oh, Nuffle! Nuffle, be kind with this bounce! Breaks armor. Oh, and the Witch Elf got a stun. Nuffle was not kind at all. Laura Dern succeeds on the catch there, but Laura Dern's already activated double skulls to end the turn here. All right, turn 8 for the Real American Heroes. Can they make this happen? Duke, the only player in scoring position, marked by 2 Saracens. Dead Fred with 2 rerolls left for the half here. Can he pull this off? He'll be on offense to start the second half. He would love going into the second half already up a touchdown. I was playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I just couldn't. I don't know, man. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it. 2-die blitz on Trevor Morgan, gets a POW here. So no score. So just trying to skink hunt here. Says, you know what? I'm not going to go for the super risky play. I'm going to try to put myself in a better position for the second half. May as well re-roll it. Indeed he does, but only gets a push out of the block on Ty Simpkins, the sneaky get. Looks like that might be it here. I don't think there's any reason to risk anything else. Oh, all right. He's going to rush to get a 1-die on BD Wong, it looks like. Well, Destro can come in, right? Oh, takes the 1-die, got a PAL. Can he get a 10+? He cannot. And that'll be the half. 0-0 at the half. The Real American Heroes did their job. They stopped the score, and now Cenozoic Park on the back foot. They're going to be on defense now to start this second half. They will have a 2-man player advantage. Very well played by both coaches. Cenozoic Park to set up their defense here. They can't possibly be getting up the wide zones. I don't believe it. Real American Heroes now with the tie ball game. They're put in a position where they want to score as late as possible. If they were up 1-0, they could have scored a second time really whenever they wanted, and then you'd be up 2-0. But now they've got to be careful. They are up against the Lizard team, but remember, those skinks are all MA8. They're very fast. They're stunty. They have dodge. And don't forget that Cenozoic Park now has a kicker. He's more than likely going to try to kick this ball shallow and recover it. And the Real American Heroes will need to be cognizant of this fact. 2 bribes left for Cenozoic Park, 1 for the Real American Heroes. Nuffle providing the one bribe apiece. Cenozoic Park came in with a second one. Duke, the injured runner, back to receive. As all 4 of those blitzers up near the line. 5-man offensive line against a 3-man offensive line for Cenozoic Park. Deciding not to go toe-to-toe with the Crocs. Pulls Shipwreck off the line 1 space. Two Witch Elves are going to be back in the halfback position to try to block for Duke. But I imagine this ball is going to be here or here. Those 4x4 spaces here and here, I imagine where he's going to try to kick. Yeah, it's 11v10. 1-man player advantage for Cenozoic Park. Here's the kick. Oh, goes deep with it. Says, you know what? Nope. Go deep. Rolls a 1 on the D3 on the blitz. And 4 unmarked players are going to get a free turn here before the second half begins. Ball kicked just to the right of Duke. Remember, Duke has that dump off ability, so if he gets blocked, he'll get an opportunity to do a quick pass. He'll interrupt the block or the blitz, and he'll have an opportunity to quick pass this ball to someone else. Richard Attenborough going to cross the line of scrimmage, much to Dead Fred's chagrin. 2-die blitz on Gung Ho. It's going to be a knockdown. Gung Ho, the right guard here for Cenozoic Park. Good catch by Duke. Ball bounces into Duke's hands. Recovered the ball, and now turn 9 for the Real American Heroes. Wherever there's trouble, they're there on the double. Generic Soldier IP will be there. So didn't really leverage the blitz for all it was worth. Only actioned 2 of the players, it looks like. Real American Heroes here on turn 9. Have to figure out what their offense is going to look like. They can mark these Sauruses to make sure they're going nowhere except on the blitz, but then they're eating 2-die blocks. Cenozoic Park with 3 skinks in the secondary, way back in the safety position, has a linebacker in the form of Ty Simpkins, keeping him up close to the line in case he wants to take a cheeky foul across the line of scrimmage. One-time block against Laura Dern. Had the block skill, but got a foul. Didn't need it. Coming up immediately after this game, we've got our second game this evening. Division B, Alphitis Australis versus Nuffle to See here. Wood Elves versus Chaos Chosen. Real American Heroes. Oh, roll us. 1-die block into a skull. They have 4 rerolls. They take it. They say, I don't... Oh, no! They say, I don't want to spend one of my 4 rerolls. And we're removed for the trouble. 2-man player advantage for Cenozoic Park now. Like he says, that's me. Big Z Bear, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Like he says, who will Crocs bite in half next? Double skull. Ah! Quad skulls here will remain standing due to the both down result, but man, Cenozoic Park losing one of just 2 rerolls. That's going to hurt very much. Now they're down to 1 reroll for the game. Ah! R.I.P. Gung Ho. Is the apothecary going to be spent on this lineman? I doubt it. Yeah, R.I.P. buddy. You were not my favorite, Joe. You were not my favorite, Joe. Climbing single bits. Oh man. 3-man player advantage now for Cenozoic Park. Snake Eyes has somehow rolled double skulls here. This is the danger of rolling this 2-die blocks against skilled players. Not as safe as you might think. Has to eat that one. That's going to be a turnover. Turn 10 now for the Real American Heroes. Let me tell you what I did last week. So last week I was playing board games, and I was playing a game called Titan. It's a classic game. I love it. It's a lot of fun. I haven't played it for a very long time. So we're playing Titan, and a company from Baltimore back in the day called Avalon Hill made it, and they used to have a magazine called The General, and they released sort of an expansion, kind of like how GW does with White Dwarf and stuff. And so I was like, oh, I want to play with the expansion maps. So I print them out on nice cardstock, and I find out that the Avalon Hill bookcase games don't fit 8.5 by 11 paper. It's like 8 1/4 by 11. So I was like, I'll just cut them by hand, and of course they look terrible. And I was like, I'll just reprint them and I'll cut them out nicely. I'll buy like a paper cutter, like a big chunk paper cutter. So we're sitting at the table, and I pull up Amazon. I'm like, oh, I'll just buy a paper cutter. Paper cutter's like $30. I check out. It's like $600. And I'm like, what has happened? Well, turns out my Kindles are very old. And I was browsing the new Kindles. And long story short, apparently I put them in my cart and forgot. And so I bought myself a Kindle Fire Max and a Kindle Scribe. Whoops. Just wanted a paper cutter. 10 seconds left for the Real American Heroes. Not a whole lot of action after the blitz. Boy, gets the knockdown here against Laura Dern. Breaks armor! Laura Dern, no! Apothecary's going to be spent on Laura Dern. And she's going to end up with a dislocated shoulder. That is a doctor. That, sir, that is a doctor. You go into the hospital dead, you come out with a dislocated shoulder. Two-man player advantage for Cenozoic Park after the brief death of Laura Dern. If you ask, which one is dislocated shoulder again? It is, here, I'll show you. So it's a -1 to strength, which means, yeah, Laura Dern she's not dead, she's fired, she's retired. Laura Dern lives. She just doesn't play Blood Bowl anymore. SP Beaver says, have you thought about just using the digital version of the new maps in your Kindle? I mean, I guess I could draw them now, right? But yes, in all seriousness, because Blood Bowl is a very serious game. Laura Dern, yeah, so that dislocated shoulder is going to bring the strength down to 3. And if you're unfamiliar, if you're new to the game of Blood Bowl, even though Laura Dern's strength is going to go down from a 4 to a 3, her salary is not. So, you know, you have a Saurus whose whole purpose is to have strength 4. To lose that purpose and still demand the same salary, you just got to let them go. You got to fire them. Because if you don't, that's TV that you're giving up to your opponent. Two-Die Blitz is going to be a push against Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes somehow has remained alive despite being injured early in the season. They're going to take that poor dino out to live on a farm. to a nice... to a nice... nice dinosaur park upstate. Turn 11 for Real American Heroes here in the third quarter. They have the ball on their own 4-yard line in the left wide zone. They've sent Snake Eyes over to the right. Snake Eyes marked by a whole bunch of cold-blooded killers. Hank the Ranger says, I think the Gutter Runner Naked Mole Rat has been -1 AV for like 6 games and won't die. Yeah, I know, man. Some of these players, man, they've just got something. They've got something. but not slippery shoes. Oh no, Scarlet. Scarlet failed the 2+ dodge. Trying to surf a player and gets injured herself instead. And now is the Apothecary going to be spent here? I imagine so. A level 3 Witch Elf. He's thinking about it. He says, well, she will be safe for the rest of this game and for next week, but I won't have her. Fluffy says, that's just missing next game, right? Yeah. He decides not to use the Apothecary. Trying to set up the surf here. Just didn't work out. Blitz declared against Duke. Duke's going to have an opportunity to dump off now. This is a quick pass. A quick pass is orthogonally are 3 spaces. Diagonally, they're 2. There's a circle. In the tabletop game, it's an actual physical ruler. That's why this kind of looks like an odd shape. As we all know. Maybe we don't all know, but the hypotenuse of a triangle is larger than its sides here, right? So, of a right triangle. So it's going to be less squares diagonally than it's going to be orthogonally. Regardless. Here's the pass to Destro. Works out. So a blitz declared on Duke. Duke's going to dump off to Destro, but Destro's going to take a block. 2-die block on Duke's going to knock Duke down. 8+ breaks armor. Follows up. He can pull in for the assist to get the 2-die against Destro. Destro is a blodger. Only a PAL is going to knock Destro down. There's that assist. 2-die block. Not good enough here. Does he spend the reroll or does he take the push? I think he takes the push here. There it is. Gonna push Destro straight back to remain marked by Sam Jackson and Sam Neal. And now 2-die block over no man's land in the right wide zone. Gets a pal on Snake Eyes. Is he gonna stay alive? Doesn't break armor, but there's a... Oh, only got a push out of it. Trying to surf Snake Eyes. What? What? The audacity. What? Had the POW. Wanted to get the removal, the guaranteed removal instead, but that's more dice to roll. Decided to spend the reroll on it with Ty Simpkins. After rolling double skulls, rolled into double skulls once more. Ty Simpkins is going to get knocked down, and that's a turnover. Thankfully for Cenozoic Park, Ty Simpkins is going to stay on the pitch. Yeah, I thought for sure the whole plan was get the knockdown, 2 assists on the foul, making that a 7+ armor break. And now, Snake Eyes going to dodge away to safety. Snake Eyes going down pitch, back to center pitch on the opposing 10-yard line. Real American Heroes really considering their turn. They do have a 2+ dodge away with Destro, but the question is, where does the ball end up? Where does the ball stay safe? Johnny Punchline, welcome to the chat. Says a 1 die is a 66% to surf. Yeah, tried to do it, just didn't work out. Hands off to Hawk instead. Now this is going to be 2 dodges away. Eric Lionheart, loving the stream. Hawk on the left sideline. 3+ handoff. Hawk, the number 2 blitzer, is a blodger. But now it's a 3+ dodge to a 2+ dodge. Unless he has the audacity to pass. There it is. 2 rushes, 4 die rolls. 3+, 2+, 2+, 2+. And now, Hawk is going to be on the opposing 20-yard line in the left wide zone. I don't know if I caught that or not. Let's see. Yeah. Good 3+ dodge. 3+ dodge by Shipwreck, even though it's AG 2+. The Crocs has a prehensile tail that makes it an Edge 3+ basically. Takes a mark behind Wayne Knight, trying to keep that Saurus locked in position. Takes a 2-die blitz on Joe Mazzello. Gets a push out of this unless he spends the reroll. Real American Heroes, under a minute on the bonus clock. Elects to follow up on the blitz. Oh man, good dodge. Fails the shadowing roll there. Shadowing would have been a 6. But now it's another dodge unless he wants to stay marked on Trevor Morgan. "28 seconds left on the clock." There's that other dodge. Zartan now back to help protect Hawk. Turn 12, final turn of the third quarter. Cenozoic Park in danger of going down 1-0. Richard Attenborough, the Crocs, is going to mark Snake Eyes, the number 4 blitzer, as is Jeff Goldblum. This is on the Real American Heroes 10-yard line at mid-pitch. 2-die block back at the line of scrimmage over in the left wide zone. This is going to be a dodge push on Destro. Gonna try to surf Destro here. It works out. Well done. Got one of those important blitzers off the pitch with no injury. Breaks armor here. Gets a stun on Duke. Duke's going to remain on the pitch. But what's the plan for stopping the score? Cenozoic Park 3-0-0 in the competition. Looking to keep their undefeated streak intact. The only team with nothing but wins here in the Spike Magazine Trophy. There's a number of undefeated teams with some draws. Here comes the blitz. 2-die blitz. Dodge push. Doesn't have the reroll. This is the best he can do. Two-die block against shrimp wreck? You know what? I would love a shrimp wreck. Gets the foul here. Doesn't break armor on shipwreck. Turn 13 for the Joes. Two dodges score. I imagine they're going to try to make this a little safer. They have a whopping 4 rerolls. Cenozoic Park tried to remove Duke. Duke, the leader, would have removed one of those rerolls. Real Americans Heroes still have to be a little careful here, giving this Lizard team a whole quarter to try to tie the ball game. So we'll see what the plan is. First up is 2-die block against Trevor Morgan. This will be a push. Maybe a 2-die blitz. And Ariana Richards. Let's see. .30 seconds left on the clock for the Real American Heroes. Remember, they only have 24 seconds left on the bonus clock. 2-die block by the ball carrier is a POW. Oh no, it is a blitz. All right, I was like, wow. Oh, and he's just gonna score. All right, so he's done it. 1-0 the score. Well done by Dead Fred. That was insanity. What was that? Decides to go for the blitz into the score, the free score here, but now he's going to have a whole quarter where he needs to defend this Lizard against this Lizard team scoring. It'll be a one-man player advantage for Real American Heroes. They'll have a full quarter to try to get on the ball. Well, to get on the ball for sure, but also to get on the board and try to keep their undefeated streak alive. It's looking less likely for a win tonight, but they'll certainly take a draw. Wins are worth 3 points, draws are worth 1. Split line here for the defense, split wide. 3 on the line 4 linebackers, 2 in the secondary. Cenozoic Park with no re-rolls remaining for the game unless Nuffle provides some. They'll be setting up on offense here. Try to score before the game is up. No kicker for the Real American Heroes. They're probably going to try to kick this deep. Going to get the Chameleon under the ball, and Nuffle did in fact provide Cenozoic Park with a reroll. They're up to 1 reroll now for the half. Oh, praise Nuffle. Nuffle giveth, Nuffle taketh away. Cenozoic Park spends that reroll in probably record time there, rolling into double skulls. Breaks armor with the Crocs, got a stun. Two-die block on Zamet, gets a pal over on the left side of the defensive line, left defensive end. Gonna get knocked down, doesn't break armor here. Nuffle give. Two-die blitz against Zartan. Doesn't get the PAL this time. I would love to see the odds on the PALs against these blitzers. Didn't work this time, however. Gets a push out of it. Trying to carve out some of this pitch here. Definitely doesn't want to score too early. If he gives 2 turns back to the Elves, they're absolutely going to try to win this ball game. Two-die block on the right defensive end is going to be a push. Shipwreck will be pushed straight back and will continue to be marked by Jeff Goldblum. Hey, I really loved you in Jurassic Park. You think, I know we're in the middle of a Blood Bowl game, but here, can you sign that? It's for my kid. Hands off to Trevor Morgan. Ball now on Cenozoic Park's 2-yard line. KLC1, welcome to the stream. Yeah, there's another game coming up right after this, in fact. All right, trying to foul again, has gotten absolutely nothing out of these fouls all game long. Three turns left in this ball game. 1-0. The Real American Heroes are in the lead. Can they pull it out? If the Real American Heroes win this game, they will take the lead in Division A away from Cenozoic Park. Dead Fred really considering this turn here, but only has 24 seconds left on the bonus clock. A little under 1 minute 24 for the turn, Ben. Oh boy, I'd be trying to screen out these skinks. Going in for the 2-die on Jeff Goldblum, gets a push. SP Beaver says I need a draw here so I have a chance of taking back second. 9 weeks in the Spike Magazine Trophy. We're in week number 5. Good 2+ dodge by Zamet. Looks like he is trying to screen them out, but just with the odd player here or there. You can see he's got these chevrons set up. He is going to apply some pressure. 2-die block on Joe Mazzello. Gets a pal. He's back into bonus time. 20 seconds left on the clock. He'll get the pal. He'll follow up. He'll take a mark on the ball carrier. Wow, big injury. Great removal there. That removes another piece. That's all the more tackle zones removed from the pitch. Turn 14 for Cenozoic Park. Three turns. This is where they need to be with the skink in order to score. 2-die blitz. To get this turn started, it's going to be a dodge push on Zartan. Moob says both teams are going to be feeling this game next round. Yes, indeed they are. Cenozoic Park. Looks like they're trying to carve out the left wide zone here. You can see what he's doing here. He's moving players this way to try to push this way by exerting tackle zones. So the ball carrier is going to try to tuck in over here. And if he can hold off for a turn, then the question is going to be, when do you score? Hank the Raider asks, why do both teams still have bribes left? I don't know. To Nick Satan's credit, he's been fouling. He's been fouling a lot. Real American Heroes got a bribe from Nuffle, but have not been taking advantage of it. They've been wanting to kind of keep their distance from the Lizards. So there's the ball carrier. Indeed, he's going to park on the 10-yard line over in the opposing left wide zone. Cenozoic Park back on the bonus clock. No rerolls left for this team at all. They really have to be careful with their positioning and their action order. They do not want to be rolling dice that they don't have to roll. The odds are so different between having a reroll and not having a reroll. Turn 15 for the Real American Heroes. Absolutely have to move the Baroness back. Rushes her right in front of the pocket here in the left wide zone. Good 2+ dodge. Ooh, takes a mark with Zamet. The marks scare me. The marks scare me. Marking all of these Sauruses. 39 seconds left on the clock for the Real American Heroes. 4 seconds on the bonus clock. Is he going to try to blitz BD Wong? All right, repositions here. Doesn't have sidestep with the Baroness. Oh boy. May as well re-roll this. 50-50 dodge makes it a 75% on the blitz. Gets a push out of it, and that will be the turn. Turn 15 back to Cenozoic Park. All that effort to set up for the blitz, only got a pow out of it. Only got a push out of it. We'll see what Cenozoic Park does here on turn 15. They have no rerolls. They could take a one-die blitz to score. Could probably make it a two-die. Well, no they can't. Not really. Cenozoic Park has no rerolls. Oh, they take a two-die block against Zartan. They get a push here. This might suggest that they're not going to get wacky here, but we'll see. Two-die block on Hawk. This will be a dodge push as well. He says, get off of me. 30 seconds on the clock. Oh no! Tried the 3+ dodge out to center pitch. Failed the dodge. And now this ball rests on the Real American Heroes 14-yard line. Turn 16. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not enough. Good recovery by the Real American Heroes. Into the hands of Hawk, the number 2 blitzer. They don't have to score, but they can try if they want to. Ball's now over in the right wide zone. They've got to start thinking about who can score for Cenozoic Park. So Trevor Morgan gets 7 points of movement, so he can get in the end zone. It's a dodge push here against Ariana Richards. Stays put. Is he going to take the block on Wayne Knight? Good dodge to try to get some protection on Hawk. One second, nothing on the bonus clock, that's it. Final turn of the game. Does Nick Satan believe in miracles? Because he's gonna need one if he's gonna come out of this game. Oh, that's not enough. He's gotta get the blitz and get somebody to pick up this ball and pass it. And it would have to be down to Sarsis. It looks like he's giving up here. He's just gonna take the blocks, try to get some SPP. Malik, welcome to the stream. Malik says, I do! Got a KO, so he's getting the Kaz's. Got 2 points there on Sam Jackson. Oh wait, he got a KO. he got a KO. Malik says, you can see it in all the stupid rolls I made. Ah, you and me both. Fails to dodge with the Croc, with a Saurus. Tried to go for it with Jeff Goldblum. That's going to be the game. What is that laughing? Oh boy, well done. Real American Heroes are going to win this one 1-0. Well fought. Good game by both coaches. That was a lot of fun to watch. And there you have it. The Real American Heroes are going to advance into first place in Division A with that win tonight. They're one of two undefeated teams left in Division A. The other team, the Dead Poets, coached by S. Beaver. Well done, and congratulations to Dead Fred. But we've got a second game coming up here. And it is going to be Alphitus Australis versus Nuffle to see here. Wood Elves versus Chaos Chosen. Eric versus Clypheus. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go grab a drink of water and switch out some graphics, and we'll get the second game of tonight's doubleheader underway in just a few minutes. All right, and we're back. All right, let's see. We're not gonna go into a pregame. The game's scheduled to start any second now, so we'll just go into the game. We'll talk about the teams